Hey everybody, this is Kyjor, and I'm talking about the updates to JulGame. So this is a more laid-back video series where I just kind of turn the camera on and shoot out some updates. And this one's going to be a lot shorter than the last one because the last one was 30 minutes and it was like, a year's worth of work. This is going to be a few weeks worth of work. So I'm just going to get into it. So the first thing I added was a big quality of life feature, which I'm still working on, but right now it works well enough, is this recents dropdown. So whenever I open a project, it just stores it in a list, and then I can, whenever I'm opening this, I can just click a project I recently opened. And it makes it super easy because instead of going open project and then needing to open the dialog, which is convenient, and then clicking through, to find my project, um, which is for this one takes like 6 clicks or however many. I can just go here, boom, I opened that recently, boom, and then if I open a new one, then it'll just add it to the list. Awesome. So the next thing I want to show is, let's talk about hot reloading, which is also a work in progress. Everything's just a work in progress. That's just how it is. So I'm opening this project here. We're gonna run it. To run this without any issues, I need to start from the main scene. And then we can start the game, right? We got the game here. And you can see this this sword here, right? This sword here, I think it actually we have a bug. We actually have a bug here, and I need to fix it. So what's going on is that I am trying to move it up and down. So I have the script here, bob, and in my editor window, I can actually see the error. So it looks like I'm giving it I need to be giving it a vector2, and I think I'm giving it a vector2f. So let me see, vector2f, yeah. So I think I just need to change the type here, and then save it, hopefully. Oh wait, shoot. Starting y, that should be like an integer or something. Let's try that. 0. Okay, there we go. We fixed it. So you see, as soon as I saved it, it's fixed. Like it started working again. The issue right now is that the debugs, like the logs, aren't showing up in this window, which eventually I want it to show up there, so then we can see, oh, this issue's going on. I can go to my editor, I can see it, whatever. But right now I can only see it when I open it from command line. So that is a big need there for me. It's just more convenient because I can, I'm the only one really working on this, so I can use it fine. Okay, so another thing I can do, obviously, is edit a function. I can add function if I wanted to. I could add a function here and refactor this. I mean, this is very small, but refactor if I want to add a function, save it. And what I'm doing on the back end is I'm just watching these files. If a file gets updated, then we're going to throw it in like an array of files that are updated. Let's say multiple are updated at once. I don't know. Then we're going to basically reload them like their modules because they were all wrapped in Julian modules. So let's see, not just fixing that issue. Let's increase the speed. Change it to 9 instead of 3. And look at that. I think I like that. Let me change it to sine instead of cosine for this first one. Okay. And that scale is not even being used, but yeah, so that is like super cool. This is obviously a very simple example. There's some issues right now with, so like, I don't know if anybody's watching this is use Unity. There's like the start function. I have this initialize function, so when the script initializes, it runs. It gets a little funky if you're like creating, if you're updating items that have like things set in this initialize function because we're not manually running it. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to just say, hey, if you need stuff initialized, keep it in the constructor, which is just run when this actual struct is created, or also call the initialize function. So, which I think I'm kind of leaning towards the initialize function, because it's like, okay, when this script first comes into action, then I need to initialize it. But again, I'm reloading it, not starting it from scratch. So I don't know. We'll see. So, but right now, if stuff's in there, it's just gonna, it might act funky. So I actually kind of like that speed, so I think I'm actually gonna keep it like that. So yeah, so that's the hot reloading. I spent, honestly, not as long as I thought it was gonna take. It took me probably about a week to get to this point, and it just completely changes my productivity, because if I need to make a change, I just make the change in the script and I can see it within less than a second, and my code's updated, right? Like if I have a bug here and something's happening weird here, I can make a change. Oh, that didn't work. Make a change. Oh, that didn't work. Like I literally just did, and see it so fast. Which is, instead, before, I'm making a change. Okay, especially for this, I have to start it from the title scene. Okay, so I have to stop the process. Then I gotta open the title scene, run, like, then open the map scene, click the map, then we open this scene, and then I can test the case, right? Instead, I can just make changes. So that is the hot reloading. Let me get off my soapbox there. So the last thing I'm gonna talk about, and this is pretty big as well. This is a proof of concept for the engine that I've been working on, and I think I spent about a week on it. So I'm gonna reopen the. I'm just gonna restart the editor. I don't know why I closed it. So I think the biggest thing with Julia and my engine is when I want to do things like game jams and I want people to try my game, and they don't want to download it because it's I'm sending them an executable to run on their machine, and they have to basically trust me to run it. The biggest issue is that, like, there are other options for other engines. Like Unity, we can make WebGL builds. Like, a lot of engines, you can make WebGL builds, and then users don't have to worry about untrusted code running on their machine. So let me open this. Where is it? JulGame web example. Boom. So we get this scene here. You're gonna notice the scene is not particularly advanced, but it is a scene. All right. So let's play the scene. And the functionality right now is that we can move and run and jump. And if you notice, I'm moving really slowly, and there's a reason for that. But yeah, this is my scene. There's like a slow platform, and I got this little character who can move and like move around and jump. So I've been experimenting, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. And I think so far this is like the closest I can get to a web build. So one of the biggest packages in the Julia ecosystem is Pluto. Like, people can basically run code on there pretty easily, and it's like a live notebook, I think is what they call it. But I can talk to the browser. I can call JavaScript. I can call Julia functions from JavaScript. So I thought, okay, what if I compile STL down to WebAssembly, and then, just as I do with Julia, and I make all my calls to a C library, I just make those calls to the WebAssembly library. So this is where I'm at. It's not as simple as that. I have to send messages back and forth, and it's not like I can just send a Julia struct or Julia callback or anything like that straight to this process, which is WebAssembly. I have to like turn it into data that I want, like the least amount of data that I need to to make this work. So essentially right now this is very simple. All I have is this cube, and I can move it, right? So I can move it, and essentially this window, this is STL with mscript in, and it essentially I'm trying to use it like it's like a pure rendering backend, right? So my Julia process is running with very minimal changes to my game engine. Is running, and it's running the physics simulation. It's, running the scripts. It's running everything, and we're skipping the rendering. And I'm just sending positions of all the items in the scene back to this. Right now, it's all positions, right? So like I'm just saying like, okay, every item is a 1x1. And that's why in the editor it looks like that as well. So every item's just a 1x1. And so I'm just sending positions back. I'm sending positions to this, and then from this, I'm sending the inputs back to the engine. So the engine itself is not capturing inputs as well. So a lot like the input, the rendering, and the audio, and then also like, file handling will have to be done here. But then all of the physics and the scripts and like all the logic that's going to be on top can run in the Julia process. And this will make sharing like a build so much easier. I think there's a way that I can share these notebooks like pretty publicly. And if not, I can set up something where at least one person can play at a time, right? Because I think it's, I have one Julia process to run this. But this is where I'm at. I'm very happy. I don't have the player jumping right now because I didn't implement that. I didn't actually like send those. I don't send that message. But the player can move around. And the issue and the reason why this is moving much faster is I think there's a timing issue, which I haven't even tried to control the timing and make sure it's consistent. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. This has been the update for for JulGame, the game engine I've been working on, and there's some pretty cool stuff that's early on that I'm working on, but yeah, there's a lot of the things I worked on were pain points, and this was a fun little project where I'm hoping that I can start sharing my games through web builds, especially Necromancer, which I obviously am still working on. I would love to share that through a web build, so then I can share it on itch and people can play it super easy. But I think we'll see. I don't think it's gonna be possible. So, or possible at a large scale. Anyways, yeah, this has been the update for JulGame, and just little project I'm working on. So yeah, have a good day. Thanks.